Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about why I took a social media detox and why you maybe should too. I've actually just realised as I've started filming this that I am still wearing my lounge wear, which is essentially a pyjama top, but let's just keep it cash. I mean, to be fair, this could like pass as a jumper, right? Let's just all pretend that it's a jumper. Anyway, so yes, I recently took a social media detox. So last week on this channel there were no videos, and that was why I just felt like I needed to take a step back and just reevaluate things. I did kind of touch on it on my Instagram and my Facebook of why I was going offline for a short while, but I thought I would sit down and talk to you a bit more in depth about why, and also share my experience of why, because if you're going through this as well, maybe you should also take a step back for a short while. So first of all, I knew that I was on social media a lot. Now I have to be, really, because it is part of my job, but I think I did find like blurred lines between work life and life. So I was definitely on it way too much, and I didn't realise just how much I was on it until I actually stopped for 7 days. And it would be silly little things like waking up in the morning and saying to myself, I'm going to check my phone before I get Ella up, or before she wakes up, or even if she woke up in the middle of the night, I would sometimes check my notifications just to stay on top of them. And I would do this all throughout the day, even to the point where, and I've mentioned this before, I would go to the toilet and take my phone and use that time to catch up on social media. And I know a lot of you do it too, because on Instagram I asked and majority of you do that too. So sorry if you find that gross, but a lot of people do it. So anyway, I would find all of these opportunities and almost convince myself that I needed to check my notifications because I had to stay on top of everything. And since stopping, and I've actually gone to do it and realised that I've gone to do it, I was on social media so much. It was ridiculous. And a lot of the times I would go on, I would check my notifications, but then I would just spend so long just aimlessly scrolling through things and shutting down one app and then opening another and then shutting down that one and opening another and just flicking from one to the other. And it was totally unreal the amount of time I was spending on it. So not doing that for 7 days was a real eye-opener for me. I think another thing that goes hand in hand with that is the fact that I would always feel and be super busy, always have something to do, always had not enough time, and I would find myself saying that I'm so busy, I haven't got enough time, I'm so busy, I haven't got enough time. And it was something that was really annoying myself, so it must have been annoying people around me. So what I found, that because I was spending all of these little snippets of time on social media going through things, convincing myself that I was working, that I wasn't putting my attention into the things that were really important at that particular time, because I would stop and check social media. I would do a bit more and stop and check social media. So what I found is that since I cut back on social media, obviously I'm going to have to go back on it, but I'm definitely going to change the way that I use it. I found that when I was doing tasks, like doing a bit of work, that I was really focused on doing that thing. And I wasn't distracted, because I think always in the back of my mind I thought, okay, I've just posted a photo, I need to go back on and respond to comments. Because when you do this for a living, there's a lot of things to consider in terms of how well your Instagram works, all the different algorithms. So there's silly algorithms that YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, they only show you content if they think that you will want to see it. So by doing things like commenting on your videos or photos straight away after somebody comments within the first hour can be really helpful. But obviously that is really, really hard work, especially when you've got a 6-month-old baby who you want to give all your attention to. So I just found myself really split. And as much as I wanted to give attention to Ella, clearly I wasn't giving enough attention to Ella, which makes me feel super, super guilty. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, I've just found that I could put my time better into tasks. I feel like I've lost my train of thought a little bit, but I can put my time better into tasks now that I am not always having social media in the back of my mind. Whilst I'm talking about social media and it being part of a job or a business, I will talk about the fact that I became so obsessed with numbers, so followers and likes and comments and engagement and things like that. Because if you have a business profile, this is particularly Instagram that I'm talking about, to be honest with you, but if you have a business profile on Instagram, you can go into your analytics and you can see how many followers you have, you can see how much engagement you've got for the past 7 days and things like that. So I got a bit obsessed with checking those statistics and seeing them sort of rise and fall and rise and fall. I know with my Instagram, I have changed direction a lot, especially in the last 18 months. I split up my content, so all of my crochet content is now completely separate to my lifestyle. So I completely get that a lot of people don't want to see more of the lifestyle thing and the baby thing and all of that. They don't particularly want to see it, which is absolutely fine. Everyone has their own things that they like, and it's fine with me. But for somebody who likes to see improvement, engagement, that kind of thing, when you see a lot of people leaving after you've posted a picture of your little girl or something like that, it's hard not to let it get to you. And I think I really did start to let it get to me after a while. I think this is like a whole combination of things which made me feel really bad about it and get like a horrible feeling in my chest when I would post a picture and see like loads of people unfollow. It's just not nice, especially when you're sharing your life. But anyway, I know that's not a big thing in the grand scheme of things, but I'm just being honest and letting you know that's where my head was at the time. I was also finding that I was comparing myself to people quite a lot, which I think a lot of people do with social media nowadays. I think with social media you always see the good things of people's lives. I like to think of my Instagram, for example, and a lot of this is focused on Instagram in all fairness, but you see a lot of people's happy pictures on their feed. You don't see the messy things or the things that aren't going so well. So I like to think of my Instagram as the main feed is all the nice pictures. I do put some other ones on there, and then the stories being a bit behind the scenes. Sorry, I'm really rambling on. But basically you see people's good parts of their life, and I was looking at people and thinking, oh God, how are they doing all of this? How are they managing to do all of that and still have a life and still do this and still do that? And I feel like I'm failing and I'm so busy and blah blah blah. So all of these things were going around in my mind and it was driving me insane. Now, as I mentioned, I'm always the type of person to have goals. I will never change on that. I will always be a huge goal setter. But if I was to ever compare myself to somebody else, it would only be in a positive way. And I found that in the last few weeks or few months that it was starting to be a negative thing rather than a positive thing. So that was a huge one for me. And then the final thing which really made me realise that I needed to step away for a bit was actually something that Anthony said to me. I've definitely found since having a baby and doing sort of more lifestyle and mummy vlogs and things like that, that there are a lot more unwanted comments and unwanted advice, which I was starting to take really personally. Now, I know that people say things in order to be helpful and they're trying to be kind, but what I was finding was I was immediately seeing it as a bit of a dig or a criticism. And it wasn't till I told Anthony about a comment that I had, and he says, gosh, you've really got really cynical. That person is just trying to help you. And I said to him, do you know what, I'm so glad you've said that to me, because this is something that I've noticed about myself for a while now, and it's really been bugging me. But it took for him to say that to really have that light bulb moment, and that was the instant where I'm like, okay, I need to do something, I need to sort this out, this is not healthy for me at all. So what I decided to do was come off Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of those, and not film any videos or tutorials on my YouTube channel for 7 days. I actually took all of my apps and put them in one folder and put them all the way to the back of my camera or my phone screen thing, so that they weren't visible and I wasn't tempted to go on them. Now, I'm not going to lie, I have been on them a few times just because I needed to make sure that I wasn't missing anything important. But one particular time that I did go on it, this was a few days into the detox, I got a little bit lost, and I ended up looking at some comments, and I read one particular comment and it automatically got me here. I just felt that anxiety come back, and it was just horrible, and it just reminded me, no, this is why you are stepping away. You don't want this anymore. Clearly you're not ready yet. Take the full 7 days and then come back to it. And after the 7 days, I feel so different. I feel like I'm more in control of myself, my thoughts, which is so important, because at the end of the day, whatever anybody else says to you, they can't offend you. It's only how you take those comments and only how you perceive that actually affects you. So I needed to get my head straight, and I feel like I definitely have done that. I feel like I'm managing my time better. I feel like the things that I am doing, like the activities, if I'm with Ella, if I'm working, those things are actually more effective than constantly being distracted by social media. So there we are, that is why I did my social media detox, and if you relate to any of those things, then maybe consider doing one yourself. I hope that it's not been too rambly. I had a lot of thoughts that I felt like I needed to get out, so hopefully it makes sense for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this and did a detox, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to keep up to date with all of my latest videos. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you all of your support from while I was away, and I shall see you again soon. Bye.